So clustering is basically an unsupervised learning model. You can say a brother of clustering is classification, but classification falls under supervised learning. I repeat myself once again, clustering is unsupervised, classification is supervised. Okay, what I try to do is I try to identify similar type of elements, and I try to identify the clusters of the similar type. So clustering is a task of dividing your homogeneous data types or populations or groups. Okay, so similar data types is nearby elements है, उनको एक क्लस्टर में डालो, जो थोड़े अलग एलिमेंट्स है उसको दूसरे क्लस्टर में डालो, और थोड़े अलग एलिमेंट्स है उसको थर्ड क्लस्टर में डालो. क्लासिफिकेशन में क्या होता है, यू हैव अ प्री डिफाइंड सेट ऑफ क्लासेस. ओके, क्लस्टरिंग में प्री डिफाइंड सेट ऑफ क्लस्टर्स वगैरह ऐसे कुछ होता नहीं है. ओके, so clustering is more dynamic as compared to classification. So as I told you, classification is supervised learning, clustering is unsupervised learning. In classification, the training sample is provided, whereas in clustering, we do not provide any predefined classes or anything. Directly, you get the data and now you divide the data into clusters. Okay? Now, we can identify clustering into two different categories. The very first one is soft clustering and second one is hard clustering. Okay, I want you guys to take 2 minutes and read this paragraph very quickly for me. The example given for soft and hard clustering is very simple over here. They are simply trying to say that ki if I just wish to divide my blogs into different categories like science, technology, arts and friction. Now if someone has written a blog which may belong to 2 or more categories, then if my clustering algorithm is allowing me to choose more than one cluster depending on the content of the blog, then it is soft or loose clustering. But if we are restricting ki only one cluster has to be selected for that particular blog. So either the blog belongs to science, or it belongs to friction, or it belongs to arts. It cannot belong to friction and science together. It cannot belong to technology and friction together. Okay, it cannot belong to arts and science together. ऐसा अगर आपने कह दिया कि it should belong to only one category at a time, then it will be called as hard or strict clustering method. Okay. Now clustering methods should have following requirements. They must be robust, they have to be flexible, and they need to have some kind of efficiency in them. Okay. So moving ahead, what are the different clustering algorithms or clustering methods which are available with us? The very first one is connective clustering method. As the name itself tells you, it is connectivity based. So connectivity between what? Connectivity between the data points. So we wish to say that the data points which are very close to each other, they are more similar to each other as compared to the data points which are far away from each other. So that is a connectivity based clustering method. फिर दूसरा आता है clustering partition method. It basically works on dividing, or partitions of the data is created. Okay, now these partitions are predefined non-empty sets. Non-empty sets means what? Every partition should have at least one element. You cannot have a partition which has no elements. Okay, उसके बाद आता है centroid cluster method. So we say that कि the points which are closest to the central data point, which we call as centroid. ओके, सो आपके पूरे डेटा सेट में मल्टीपल सेंट्रॉइड्स होते हैं. सो जो पॉइंट्स उस सेंट्रॉइड से एक पर्टिकुलर डिस्टेंस के बेसिस, एक डिस्टेंस के एक डिस्टेंस के रेडियस के अंदर आते हैं, तो वो उस क्लस्टर में चले जाते हैं, उस सेंट्रॉइड के क्लस्टर में वो चले जाएंगे. ओके, सो वी जस्ट चेक वेदर द डेटा पॉइंट इज क्लोजर टू विच पर्टिकुलर सेंट्रॉइड. सो जिस भी सेंट्रॉइड से वो क्लोजेस्ट है, उस सेंट्रॉइड के क्लस्टर में वो डेटा पॉइंट चला जाएगा. Okay, so K means clustering is the best fit for this particular method. उसके बाद hierarchical clustering, you try to develop nested clusters. Okay, अभी hierarchical clustering तो हम लोग ने बहुत अच्छे से देखा है. Do you guys remember two techniques that we have seen in hierarchical clustering? Do you remember those two techniques? Have I taught you agglomerative clustering and divisive clustering? Last lecture, we started this lecture today by revising that. You remember or you don't remember at all? हाँ, तो कर लो अभी रिवाइज. एग्जाम नज़दीक आ रहा है तो पढ़ना स्टार्ट करो. अब तक जितना भी मैंने पढ़ाया है, वी आर ऑन 9th चैप्टर राइट नाउ. सो आपके एटलीस्ट फर्स्ट 6 चैप्टर्स रेडी हो जाने चाहिए थे. आई एम नॉट एबल टू हियर यू. हाँ, I will try and share it as soon as possible. The problem that is happening is my net connectivity currently is bit less. So वो जो बड़ा फाइल्स है वो अपलोड नहीं हो रहा है somehow. वो बीच में ही चला जाता है. आज भी मैंने ट्राई किया दोपहर में 3 घंटा, बट वो हो नहीं रहा है. Okay? So once it happens, you will get it. Don't worry, I'll share the link also. Okay? I am not able to hear you. बहुत सारा बैकग्राउंड नॉइज आ रहा है. Okay, so I hope you guys remember hierarchical clustering, divisive and agglomerative. उसके बाद है density based clustering method. So density based clustering method हम लोग क्या कहते हैं कि more number of closer data sets. So if I have a denser inputs, then they will result into an better cluster formation. Because अगर ऐसे कोई data inputs है which are isolated, then obviously they will be treated as outliers. They will be treated as what? Outliers. Okay. Now they have given an example of support vector machine over here. So maybe we will cover that support vector machine part today, or we will be covering it tomorrow. Tomorrow as in the next lecture. Okay. ANOVA, you guys remember it? What is ANOVA? I told you the full form. It is analysis of variance. Okay, so I am not explaining you ANOVA once again. Just pay attention to this. यहाँ पे एक छोटा सा error है. It has to be T over here. Instead of E, it has to be what? T. That is mean square of treatments. And instead of T over here, it has to be E. So T and E में exchange है basically यहाँ पर. Are you getting it? T and E में exchange है यहाँ पर. सिर्फ उतना याद रखना. Okay? Now, principal component analysis. What is principal component analysis? Many times, whenever we have high dimensional data, प्रॉब्लम ये होता है कि अगर डायमेंशनैलिटी बहुत ज़्यादा है तो मॉडल उतना ही कॉम्प्लिकेटेड बनता है. अभी मॉडल कॉम्प्लिकेटेड बनेगा तो इट मे रिजल्ट इट मे रिजल्ट इनटू सम डिफिकल्टीज. Understanding of the model, validity of the model, everything, the situation becomes complicated. So we need to simplify the model. But जब आप मॉडल सिंप्लीफाई करते हो तो आपको ये भी चीज़ सोचना पड़ता है कि you should not hamper the accuracy of the model beyond a certain level. So you need to find out which are your principal dimensions. Principal dimensions means what? You need to figure out which are the dimensions which contribute the most to your model. Okay? So ये जो PCA है, Principal Component Analysis, ये basically Dimensionality Reduction Method है. अभी अगर आप Dimensionality Reduction Method in detail में पढ़ने की कोशिश करो, you will come across various concepts like covariance, eigenvector, eigenvalues and all those things. Okay? I am not going to go into that depth right now. बट आई एम जस्ट टेलिंग यू, अगर किसी को ये चीज एक्सप्लोर करना है आगे, दीज आर द टॉपिक्स दैट यू शुड एक्सप्लोर अलॉन्ग विद इट. ओके, सो बेसिकली डायमेंशनैलिटी रिडक्शन का एम मैंने आपको बोला कि मुझे सेट ऑफ वेरिएबल्स रिड्यूस करना है. मुझे पता है कि जैसे मैंने सेट ऑफ वेरिएबल्स रिड्यूस किया तो मेरा एक्यूरेसी अफेक्ट हो जाएगा, बट आई जस्ट वांट टू एंश्योर दैट माय एक्यूरेसी इज नॉट अफेक्टेड बियॉन्ड अ सर्टेन लेवल. I am ready to compromise on little bit of my accuracy so that my model is simpler. Now you will ask me, dimensionality मतलब क्या? Reducing the number of variables मतलब क्या? Let us consider a very simple example. Let's say that I want to calculate the probability of heart disease in a person. Okay? कि इस बंदे को हार्ट डिसीज होने के कितने चांसेस हैं, उसका प्रोबेबिलिटी मुझे कैलकुलेट करना है. अभी कौन से फैक्टर्स इंपॉर्टेंट है? हाइट, वेट, द लाइफस्टाइल, द ईटिंग पैटर्न, द नेचर ऑफ दैट पर्सन, मतलब स्ट्रेस लेने की आदत है या द पर्सन इज स्ट्रेस फ्री. डज द पर्सन एक्सरसाइज? इफ यस, देन व्हाट टाइप ऑफ एक्सरसाइज? मेडिसिन्स क्या करंटली चालू है? साइड ये क्या है, मीन्स फॉर एग्जाम्पल डज द पर्सन हैव हाई ब्लड प्रेशर और लो ब्लड प्रेशर? डज द पर्सन हैव थायराइड? all those other ailments what we can talk about is family history क्या है, so on and so forth. correct? मतलब I can tell you 10 more factors that will help you to calculate this हार्ट डिसीज प्रोबेबिलिटी वैल्यू. अभी आप मुझे बोलो, सच में आप हार्ट डिसीज प्रोबेबिलिटी जब कैलकुलेट करोगे तो इतने सारे फैक्टर्स कंसिडर करोगे? नो, यू हैव टू रिड्यूस योर डायमेंशनैलिटी. सो यू हैव टू चूज विच फैक्टर्स यू आर गोइंग टू फोकस ऑन एंड विच फैक्टर्स यू आर गोइंग टू लेट गो ऑफ. सो द मेथड्स लाइक प्रिंसिपल कंपोनेंट एनालिसिस लेट यू फिगर दैट आउट कि विच आर योर मेन डायमेंशंस. Okay? Any doubt in this? Okay. Now decision tree. Decision tree represents classification. So we have already studied decision trees in case you guys remember, right? So decision trees में क्या होता है? Nodes होते हैं. What is weather forecast called as? Which type of node is weather forecast called as? Can you tell me? It is called as a root node. It is called as a root node. And what are the nodes like heavy rains, partially cloudy, dense clouds, yeah, little drizzle? What are they called as? They are your leaf nodes. So they are basically, your classes. So by the time you reach from your root to leaf, you will answer multiple questions to come कि आज का weather कौन से category में fit होता है. Am I very clear on this? Okay. Now, as I told you, we will do something which is called as support vector machines. Now, what is support vector machine? It is used for classification and in supervised learning algorithm. Okay. It is also used for regression problem. So it is needed to differentiate two or more sets of similar data. So how does it work basically? Okay. जब आपको support vector machine की बात करनी है, so you have to talk about hyperplane. Okay. Any one of you is aware about the concept of hyperplane? No. Okay, fine. Can you just look at this diagram and tell me how many dimensions are there in this diagram? Can you do that for me? How many dimensions? Two dimension है, perfect. So just tell me one thing. if I have to divide the two-dimensional space, how can I divide it? I will divide it using a line. No. Think about it once again. See, I'll give you a simple example. Two-dimensional space है, उसको अगर मुझे डिवाइड करना है तो मुझे एक लाइन लगेगी. Line is one dimensional. You're getting it? Line is one dimensional. मेरा 3-dimensional space है, उसको मुझे दो पार्ट्स में डिवाइड करना है, तो मुझे लाइन से काम नहीं चलेगा. I'll need a plane. So my space is 3-dimensional. I need a plane to divide it into two parts. So my plane is nothing but my plane is 2-dimensional. So hyperplane का जो dimensionality होता है, it is 1 minus your space's dimensionality. So मेरा 2-dimensional space है, hyperplane कितने dimension का है? 1. मेरा 3-dimensional space है, hyperplane कितने dimension का है? 2. I hope the concept is pretty simple. Okay. Now, what I am supposed to do is, I am supposed to figure out which is the best possible hyperplane for dividing my data currently. So, is it A, is it B, or it is C? Which line, according to you, divides the graph properly? Line A divides it properly, line B divides it properly, or line C divides it properly? See, line B पे concentrate करो, ये एक ग्रुप बन जाएगा, ये दूसरा ग्रुप बन जाएगा. प्रॉब्लम है, सर्कल के ग्रुप में 2 स्टार्स आ गए एंड स्टार्स के ग्रुप में एक सर्कल आ गया. So B is not a good choice. You agree? Now consider C. 3 stars सर्कल के यहाँ पे चले गए, almost 3 stars, 2.5 stars. 2 सर्कल स्टार्स के साइड पे आ गए, so C is also not a good option. What about A? Circles are on left hand side and stars are on left hand side. So in scene 1, I can say that A is a good choice. You agree? Okay. Now in scene 2, which is a better choice? What do you say? A is a better choice now, C is a better choice, or B is a better choice? Why do you say C? Because A and B are also good, no? They are equally good, don't you think? Absolutely correct. C. अगर मैंने B कंसिडर किया तो अभी के लिए तो प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगा, बट अगर ऐसा कोई स्टार आ जाता है जो इसके नजदीक है, यहाँ पर कोई स्टार आ जाता है, तो फिर वो प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट करेगा. डोंट यू थिंक? यस. इसका उल्टा केस होगा ए के साथ कि अगर इसके नजदीक कोई सर्कल आ जाता है जैसे यहाँ पर, तो वो प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट करेगा. एम आई राइट? बट सी के साथ ये प्रोबेबिलिटी रिड्यूस होता है because C gives you enough boundary space in both the groups, and that is the reason C is the better choice. Rather, C is the best choice. So जिसने भी सबसे पहले आंसर किया था, मुझे याद नहीं है किसने आंसर किया था, बट जिसने भी आंसर किया था, it was a perfect answer. C is the better choice and the reason is it is in middle. तो अगर आगे आने वाले डेटा पॉइंट्स थोड़ा यहाँ वहां भी शिफ्ट हो जाते हैं, स्टिल माई डिविजन विल वर्क इन द सेम मैनर. क्लियर है गाइस? ओके. नाउ लुक एट सीन 3. सीन 3. A is a better choice or B is a better choice? see, you can say that A is a better choice because A जब consider कर रहे हो तो सारे circles एक side आ रहे हैं, सारे stars दूसरे side आ रहे हैं. So if I consider my rule कि circle should be in one group and stars should be in another group, A is a better choice. But what did I just now tell you? I told you that कि आपको थोड़ा margins भी चाहिए. तो अगर वो margins का बात करो तो which is a better choice? B is a better choice. Understood? अभी ये देखो यहाँ पे ये एक ही सर्कल ऐसा है कॉर्नर में, राइट? Is there any way that I can have a line which will divide in such a way that सारे circles एक side चले जाते हैं? And a straight line, not a curve line. So ये मत बोलो कि एक ऐसा line बना देंगे तो सारे stars एक जगह पे आ जाएंगे and circles दूसरी जगह पे. ऐसे नहीं करना है. No, you have to have a straight line. You cannot even have a rectangle or a box like this. ऐसा भी नहीं हो सकता है. You need a line like this. Is there any way of that division? The answer is no. There's no such way. Am I right? What do we call this? This is called as an outlier. This is called as an outlier. Clear है? Okay. आपको थ्रेशोल्ड डिफाइन करना पड़ेगा डिविजन के लिए. थ्रेशोल्ड. So for example, I tell you कि let's say that let's say you're going for a CBC and किसी का hemoglobin आया 11.3. So is it low hemoglobin? Is it very low hemoglobin? Or it is normal hemoglobin? Or it is very high? So ये 4 classes हो गए ना. इनके बीच का अगर मुझे distinguish between बताना है तो मुझे एक threshold देना पड़ेगा. क्योंकि if you know it is between 12 to 10, it is low, but it is not very low. 10 से 6 तक है तो it is very low, and 6 to 4 या 3 तक है then it is extremely low. So we are deciding a threshold of every class, isn't it? And ये graphically plot किया है मैंने. You're getting it? Because जब ये line plot करोगे, so you can have an equation of this line, correct? Now, this is your next scenario. क्या करोगे? Very confusing? You will move your x-axis and y-axis in such a way that all your circles and stars move in one region. Okay, you will fold your x-axis and cut the y-axis into 2 halves and transfer the stars and circle on one side of the quadrant to simplify the solution. So ये जो stars and circles है ये ऊपर की तरफ आ जाएंगे. Are you getting my point? You will fold it. Imagine folding this paper across this line. Are you understanding? So ये star यहाँ पे आ जाएगा, ये star यहाँ पे, ये circle इस side. So you will get a scenario which is something like this. And now you have a better chance to have a hyperplane that is dividing your stars and circles into 2 halves. Obviously आपको best solution नहीं मिलेगा, but इस केस में कुछ भी solution नहीं मिल रहा था, उससे अच्छा कुछ तो solution यहाँ पे आपको मिल सकता है. Am I very clear on this? Hyperplane का concept as such यहाँ पे explain नहीं किया है, but that is the concept which is very much related to this, because everywhere you read the explanation you will find the word hyperplane, इसलिए मैंने आपको वो concept explain कर दिया. Okay, what is a hyperplane? The degree of the hyperplane is it is 1 less than the dimensionality of your space. So here my space was a 2D space, so my hyperplane was 1D, that is a line. But if I have a 3D space, my hyperplane will be a plane. Okay, because 3D का 1 minus क्या किया तो मिल जाता है 2D. Everyone with me? Any doubt? Okay, now the next concept that we take up is neural networks. Rather, the word that we use every time is artificial neural networks. Why artificial? Because we want to signify that whatever neural networks we are having, they are man-made, they are human-made. Okay, इसलिए artificial. अभी neural networks का concept आता कहाँ से? See, in AI, you must also be aware that we try to replicate multiple naturally occurring systems. So whether it is neural networks or it is genetic algorithm, these are naturally occurring systems in living beings. So neural, it comes from the term called as neurons. Okay, neurons play a major role in functioning of the brain. हम लोग सोचते कैसे हैं, हम लोग एक्शंस कैसे लेते हैं, हमारा इनपुट आउटपुट कैसे कोऑर्डिनेट होता है, ये सब न्यूरॉन्स डिसाइड करता है. And so many of the neurons, rather million of those neurons are connected with one another. इसीलिए हम लोग उसको कहते हैं न्यूरल नेटवर्क. Okay? So, neural network is basically a network of nerve cells in the brain. Okay? Now, what is brain, weight of the brain and all that you can just read. I am not explaining it to you. We all know that our neurons are functioning 24/7. They can exchange data, they can communicate with each other, either using electrical impulses or chemical signals. Okay, they take help of something that is called as synapses. Synapses क्या होता है? It is a junction between two neurons. It is a junction between the two neurons. So two neurons can actually transfer data with the help of synapses. Okay, you can just go ahead and see at what rate the data exchange happens. Can you see the next point, please? Rather, you can read the next 3 points. Yes, correct. Okay. Now, आगे वाले जो 2 points है, they are simply just telling you कि neurons replace कैसे होते हैं. Okay. Loss of energy means what? It means loss of information. Okay. So if we don't recall anything for 7 years straight, there's a chance that it may be completely erased from our memory. Usually ऐसे होता नहीं है. Because ऐसा कभी जो major incidences होते हैं life के, we keep on recollecting them every now and then so that memory gets refreshed. अगर ऐसा कुछ है जो आपने याद ही नहीं किया है पिछले 6-7 सालों में, तो आप वो obviously भूल जाओगे. Okay? Now, similar to these neurons, the computer scientist built a complex artificial neural networks using an array of logic gates. And the most preferred logic gates that they use were XOR gates. Okay, so basically उन्होंने क्या करने की कोशिश की is they tried to imitate the working of neural networks in AI. Okay, in World War II, these two people, they modeled an artificial neuron to perform the computation. They did this by developing a neuron from a logical gate. Okay, so basically what we have is, we have inputs. So x1, x2, xn are your inputs. w1, w2, w3, wn are your weights. Okay, and then finally you have an output. What is your output? A is your output. अभी input and output के बीच में जो होता है, input and आउटपुट के बीच में जो होता है उसे कहा जाता है हिडन लेयर्स. उसे क्या कहा जाता है? हिडन लेयर्स. सो इफ यू सी दिस इज योर हिडन लेयर. Now how many hidden layers do you have? That depends upon the complexity of your network. In some cases you may have only one hidden layer. In some cases you may have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hidden layers. Okay. The basic working that happens over here is the inputs are taken, they go through multiple hidden layers, and then finally you get your output. Okay. So the most simple neural network will be just a neural network that performs sum of all the inputs. So it is a summation sign for I is equal to 1 till n w of I into x of I, where w of I is nothing but the weights. W of I is nothing but the weights. Okay, जब हम लोग कहते हैं ना कि न्यूरल नेटवर्क को ट्रेन किया जा रहा है, तो इन रियलिटी वो वेट्स डिसाइड किए जा रहे हैं. Are you understanding? जब आप कहते हो कि न्यूरल नेटवर्क को ट्रेन कर रहा है कोई, तो वो वेट्स डिसाइड करते हैं. ओके. नाउ you can have thresholds, you can have polynomial functions, you can use filters if you want to filter your inputs, unwanted stuff if you want to remove, you want to focus on some particular part only. Okay, आपको tolerance decide करना है. Everything of this sort you can do. Clear है? अभी the neural networks, sometimes you use the concept of feed forward या feedback based neural networks also, कि output से फिर से feedback जाता है input पे. तो वो सब भी टाइप्स होते हैं. ओके, यू नो वी कैन स्पीक ऑन न्यूरल नेटवर्क्स फॉर अनदर आवर और 2 hours एट अ लेंथ, बट लेट अस स्टॉप हियर राइट नाउ. अगर और कुछ आप, यस, सो यू कैन यूज द कंसेप्ट्स ऑफ सॉफ्ट कंप्यूटिंग ओवर हियर टू राइट दिस आंसर. ओके, नाउ द नेक्स्ट वन इज TensorFlow. TensorFlow is basically an open source platform for machine learning. It has a comprehensive set of libraries. You can actually develop AI based algorithms or machine learning based algorithms using TensorFlow. Okay, this is just an introduction of the TensorFlow. You can just go and search this website to study more about TensorFlow. Okay, any doubt in this? Okay, now tell me, in Raptor, okay, in Raptor, till what point we have completed the things? ट्रांसफॉर्म के बाद क्या आता है? So we are going to look at organize now. In organize super step, what we try to do is, we have a data warehouse. Transform has given us a very good quality data warehouse. We have to get subsections of that data warehouse so that I can create my business specific data marts. I can create my business specific data marts. You're getting it? See, I'll give you a very simple example. I have 2 kg of potatoes and 2 kg of onions at my home. Okay, and I want to make a potato onion sabzi for my family. Okay, for 3 people. How many potatoes and onions do you think I'll take? Both 2 kgs? No? Are you getting what I'm trying to convey to you? मुझे अगर 3 लोगों के लिए पोटैटो एंड ओनियन का सब्जी बनाना है, मुझे 2-2 किलो ओनियन एंड पोटैटो नहीं लगने वाले. मेरे घर में है 2-2 किलो ओनियन एंड पोटैटो. But what is my business specific requirement right now? Making sabzi for 3 people. So I may take 5-6 potatoes and 2-3 onions. That is the reason from data warehouse also we are sectioning the data further and we are creating data mart. So data mart is an access layer of data warehouse environment that is developed to expose the data to the users. So data mart is a subset of data warehouse and it is oriented for a specific business group. I hope I am very clear with this. Yes, no? Now, the next question is, when I say that data mart is a subset of data warehouse, how do I create that subset? I either use an horizontal style, I either use a vertical style, or I use a island style. Okay, secured vault style, I'll come to it later on. तो अभी सोचो ही मत secured vault style के बारे में. Okay, फिलहाल के लिए which 3 styles are we going to deal with? Horizontal, vertical and island style. Are you guys with me? Okay, now I want you guys to imagine a table for me. Can you do that? Can you imagine? Can you picturize a table in front of you? Yes? Abhi, I'm going to ask you a question. Try and answer that question. उस टेबल में horizontal क्या है? फिर से सोचो. इसलिए मैंने बोला पहले टेबल विजुअलाइज करो. टेबल कैसे दिखेगा? So when I say horizontal, I'm talking about rows. When I'm talking vertical, I'm talking about columns. Are you guys with me? Now, when I am performing horizontal style slicing or horizontal style subsetting of my data warehouse, I am selecting the subset of rows from my population. I am selecting the subset of rows from my population. I am preserving the columns. I am not deleting the columns. I am selecting what? Subset of records or subset of rows from my table. Now, what is a real life example for this? You know, there's a manager who is looking at Mumbai, Navi Mumbai and Thane district of sales of a particular company. Let's say it is Cadbury. Okay, let's take example कि Cadbury है and the manager is looking at sales of all these regions. Now he is specifically interested कि घाटकोपर से लेकर मुलुंड तक कितना सेल्स हुआ है. घाटकोपर से लेकर मुलुंड तक कितना सेल्स हुआ है. तो उसके पास since he is looking at मुंबई, थाने एंड नवी मुंबई रीजन, उसके पास बहुत बड़ा डेटा है डेटा वेयर हाउस में. यस और नो? बट फिलहाल उसको कॉन्सेंट्रेट किस पे करना है? घाटकोपर टू मुलुंड. यस और नो? सो वो सारे कॉलम्स रिट्राइव करेगा बट द कंडीशन विल बी पुट ऑन द रोज कि जहां जहां पर लोकेशन घाटकोपर है, विक्रोली है या मुलुंड है या थाने है. नहीं, मैंने थाने नहीं लिया ना, घाटकोपर टू मुलुंड ही लिया ना. कांजुरमार्ग है. सो घाटकोपर टू मुलुंड जितने भी स्टेशंस आते हैं उतने ही स्टेशंस के रोज वो रिट्राइव करेगा. आर यू गेटिंग इट? ओके. Now, vertical style. Vertical style slicing or subsetting means what? What are you going to do? You're going to create a subset of the columns but you will be preserving the rows now. You will be creating the subset of the columns while you are preserving the rows. Are you guys with me? So let's say that I am not interested in किसने सेल्स करवाया है. Okay, I am not interested in which shopkeeper has sold the product. I am not interested in which area the product is sold. I am just interested in the sales. Okay, कौन से डेट पे कितना सेल हुआ. तो I will just choose two columns, the date and the sales that has happened on the date. Yes or no? So सारा सेल्स चाहिए मुझे. मेरे पास जितना भी डेटा है डेटाबेस में सारा डेटा मुझे चाहिए, बट I'll now slice the data vertically. I will remove certain columns. In which shop the product was sold, I don't want it. I just want the date on which the product was sold and the amount that I got from that particular sales. Am I very clear on this? That is called as a vertical style. अभी वर्टिकल स्टाइल एंड हॉरिजॉन्टल स्टाइल को कंबाइन कर लो. वर्टिकल स्टाइल एंड हॉरिजॉन्टल स्टाइल को कंबाइन कर लो. व्हाट विल यू गेट? एनी गेसेस? द आंसर इज वेरी सिंपल. यू विल गेट एन आइलैंड स्टाइल. सो आई जस्ट वांट द डेट ऑफ द ट्रांजैक्शन एंड द सेल्स अमाउंट for all the regions between Ghatkopar to Mulund. So I am slicing the rows also, I am slicing the columns also. So the combination of horizontal and vertical style is what we call as island style. Clear है सबको ये concept? तीनों concept समझे अच्छे से? Now, whether I am working with horizontal style or I am working with vertical slicing or subsetting, or I am working with island slicing technique or island subsetting technique, you must have understood ना, there are different words. Slicing भी कहा जाता है and subsetting भी कहा जाता है. तो क्वेश्चन पेपर में ना वो अलग अलग क्वेश्चंस पूछते. कभी कभी ऐसा पूछते हैं कि राइट अ नोट ऑन ऑर्गेनाइज सुपर स्टेप. कभी कभी ये पूछेंगे कि डेटा मार्ट कैसे बनाया जाता है. कभी कभी ये पूछेंगे कि स्लाइसिंग कैसे करते हैं. कभी कभी ये पूछेंगे कि सबसेटिंग कैसे किया जा सकता है. द आंसर्स रिमेन द सेम. ओके, नाउ वेदर आई एम वर्किंग विथ हॉरिजॉन्टल और वर्टिकल और आइलैंड, the outcome is also attached to a person who performs the query. वो query किसने execute किया है उस पे भी उसका outcome depend करता है. Okay, because every person does not have the same set of privileges. You agree with this or you don't agree? You agree na कि as your role changes, your privileges change. See, you guys may be working for some organization, so you can relate to this example that I'm telling you. If you're at the bottom level, you can see only some set of data in your organization. But if you're a team leader or something like that, you have a wider range of access to the data. Your manager may have access to more wider range of data. Am I right? So in short, what is your role in the organization decides what access you have. So this concept is called as role-based access control. It is called as what? Role-based access control. So the security is applied against the role. Security is applied against the role. So whenever a person is added or removed from a particular role, you have to update that entry in the system कि this person currently has this role. So then it will be decided कि okay, what kind of data this person can see. And ये सब क्यों किया जाता है, ये रोल बेस्ड एक्सेस कंट्रोल वगैरह क्यों इम्प्लीमेंट करना है आपको? एक सिंपल चीज के लिए you need to develop a secured environment. Okay, any random user should not be able to access any data in your system. You're getting it? Now there is also something which is called as time bound role based access system or access control. So time bound role based access control में ये होता है कि during office time you can see some data, but you know after your office timings you may not have access to that data. Okay, so there are different access rights during the office duration and there are different access rights after the office duration. Any doubt till here? Okay, so next time in the next lecture we will start with association mining rule and we will finish off with the syllabus next time. Okay.